Hey, Apple Biters and Appletinis, this is Les, aka SistaSlaya, here with the Bit and Apple TV, and we are at PlayNYC, the biggest gaming convention in New York City. And I am standing here with Mr. Mike Stelfer, who has created GrooveCatcher. Now, I just actually got through playing the game. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but it is such a unique concept. Can you tell me how you came up with this concept?
Sure. Well, it started as a music visualization project. I've been wanting to do music visualization for 25 years. I've done a few projects. I'm a longtime coder. And this one now with VR, I can really make it based on dance. Because there's a lot of music visualization out there with amazing visuals, but to me, very little of it is musical. So by using dance as the core of it, I can make it musical very easily. And then build in some sort of automatic analysis things. But you still can't have a computer listen musically like a human. People are working on that, I got a buddy working on that, but it's not there yet. So if you do dance, you can make it. So the dance is the core of the music visualization. It drives it, I pick up dynamics, I use the curves and the shapes. And then we were playing around with that, and we thought, what if we do that in reverse, because I'm carving all these paths in space. What if we draw those out and I can follow them, and it became a game. And we're like, this is a fun game. Let's get this game out there, and then maybe we can do the art project, you know, through the game, basically. So the game incorporates some of that artwork, and you can actually watch it in the game too. You can see some sculptures.
It's very genius because it actually looks like it from the perspective of someone who is someone who's actually viewing the participant. It looks like you're painting a sculpture. It looks like you're painting. You're using your arms. Yeah. But what I also noticed is that you have to use your physicality in order to catch the notes and the rhythms in there. So you told me something that was very interesting, because I was like, well, how is it that you create all the lines and the visuals and the sculpture? And you told me something about your background. So can you explain to me that?
Yeah, so I have a long history as a musician and amateur dancer, and a lot of the music and dance I do is improv. So with improv dance, you listen to the music very intensely, and well, if you're doing it to music, but some styles of improv dance is no music. I've done that too. But when you listen to the music intensely as an improv dancer and also as like an improv musician, I approach it, and anyone else who does that, like my friend Bill who started this with me, we approach it as if we're sort of instruments of the music. Our bodies are reacting to the music, they're being pushed and moved. So you get a dance style that's very intimate with the music. I'm not doing a dance step, although you can do that too. But when I do a real improv dance that's picking up on the motion, the motive factors, the feel, the power of the music, I get levels and lines that make people move, and they just come out and say, wow, that was very immersive, that was natural, it felt like I was on top of the music.
It does feel that way. It feels like you're actually inside the music, actually moving into it, and the way that you actually have programmed it with your own body, it feels like you're actually moving to those rhythms as well. It is a most unique experience that I've ever, probably in the VR world, that I've ever experienced. Now, it also can be a competitive game, so when this does come forward, when you do put this on the market, how is it going to, like again, I think it's going to be a great party game, and I had to say this. So how is it that this game can become competitive?
Well, in the first level, like even in its current form, people at the expos just compete for the high score. And we run little tournaments, and people love doing that. And they come back and they're like, I gotta get a little bit better. And and people get better over like 3-4 times even. They're already getting better. And then we'll have actual multiplayer modes where if you have people with multiple headsets over the internet or in the same room, you can play in the same space and see the other person. We'll have co-op modes where you're catching different parts of the song, like in guitar, like in Rock Band, and then modes where you're building a musical sculpture together as you're catching the music. And then there'll be modes where you can pass it back and forth, because the game itself, since the levels are made by dancing, anyone will be able to make a level in the game. You don't have to take out a beat map editor, which is always the problem with rhythm games now. You just dance. You have beat blocks that you have to smash. You press a button, you drop a block. Otherwise, you dance. You make a level for your friends. Hey, check out how I interpreted this song. Can you catch it? And someone's going to say, that's nonsense. But then you catch it yourself, and like, oh wow, you can catch it. Let me try to do that. So we'll have that all in there.
And you said something about actually having a game of horse in it too, as well.
Oh yeah. So like with this being able to quickly, we'll set it up so you can quickly pass the grooves back and forth. So I cut something out for a loop of like 30 seconds of a song, and then it flips over to whoever else is playing, and they have to catch it. So like that old basketball game horse. And then we'll make it so that, you know, the person who made it originally, if they just flail their arms, you know, that's no fun. So you have to catch it yourself. You have to like get better than everyone else's score, otherwise you lose maybe, right? So you have to make something that other people can catch.
And as a dancer, I thought I was going to do really well with it, and I found that I wasn't actually moving as well as I can. I think I was just trying to compete for the score.
Yeah.
However, I will say that after a while, it's just like anything that you do with your body, any physicality, you're going to get well. You're going to have muscle memory. You're going to go and you're going to beat that game as a result of it. You're being able to sway and move in a regular way. Let me ask you, and one of the things that I did notice here, which is very dear to my heart, is I noticed that part of this game, and you said that it's still kind of being created for that, is that the people that have limitations can actually play this game.
Yeah, so we would like to make it as accessible as possible. Because what we do when we start is we measure your height and arm length and shoulders. So if you're in a wheelchair or if you have one arm that doesn't move as well, we can accommodate that. There was a woman at one expo who was severely myopic. So she was thinking, I don't want to try it. I was like, well, let's see if we can do it. So we got her set up, calibrated as if her arms were like this long. So everything was right here, so she could see it and she could play around with it. And we talked about ideas how to make it, to be able to see what's coming next, how to wrap around things. And so we're very interested in that as well, because we want everyone to experience, you know, being able to catch the music like that. And everyone loves music and movement.
Everybody loves music. And speaking of the music right now is very melodic, but can you do all types of music?
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of you doing this dance-based movement flowing mode, is we can do any style. We're not stuck to the typical rhythmic style of most rhythm games. I've got a classical flute piece in there. We've got a hard rock piece that's not in the game right now. We've got hip hop, reggae. We're gonna do, I mean, basically everything. Anything that has, well, even if it's all rhythmic. Actually, I have a nice samba piece that a friend of mine in a samba band. We're gonna do pure percussion stuff. And that'll be a lot of dance moves, as well as trying to do percussion parts, and you have to smash it. So it's all on the table, and we all love any kind of music. So, you know, we want to have like 2 or 3 songs from as many styles as we can. And we'll have, in the early release, we're looking at trying to get about 50 songs in there. Now, we're not going to have levels for all of those probably, but there'll be a bunch of them that are in there, so you can just make your own levels. We'll have a spot to share them online with your friends and rate them and see how
So, who are you actually soliciting to? Because I would love to play this game on any of my platforms that I have at home. So I hope that you guys, I would love to see this game and say that I was there in the insemination of it. But how are they receiving the game so far?
The people coming by, I mean, people love it. I mean, first of all, they love VR, right? So that's easy. But then they're like, oh wow, this is like music. I'm moving. I felt like I was on, you know, like I said before, I think on top of the music, in the music, immersed. Some people, even at the harder parts, they find it very relaxing. I think it's got the Zen focus. And that's one thing I thought of when you mentioned the score. You know, there's going to be a mode where you can turn the score off, you can turn off all the visuals and have it be a very Zen experience. And there'll be modes that are very meditative music where you're just going like this. Right? Just guided movement meditation kind of things. And then you can make your own levels like that too, whatever feels good for you.
I think it's actually very therapeutic for the person that's involved in the VR, and also the person that's actually watching it. You're mesmerized by the graphics. You really are. The music and the graphics, and then you look over there and you see that person. It's a very, I don't know, it's extremely cathartic, therapeutic experience. You know, and you actually accomplished that by doing that.
Yeah.
So where can we find you on social media? Where can we look for you guys so we can know how the game is progressing, what's going to happen with it?
Well, on our website, the company name is Vizmoo. That stands for Visual Music. It's V-I-Z-M-O-O, like the cow, Vizmoo. You can sign up there for the email list. Otherwise on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, I have to check that one, and Facebook, it's all at GrooveCatcherVR, one word, GrooveCatcherVR. And you can follow us there. We just announce where we're going to be next. And we're looking for alpha testers, because we're private alpha hopefully next month.
They're looking for alpha testers. They're looking for alpha testers.
That's right. We're going to, what kind of rig do you have?
I'm just wishing.
You got a friend.
Yeah.
Well, we're pitching everybody the Oculus Quest.
Yeah.
because that actually works. And I have nothing to do with Oculus, although I'd be happy to. But it's a system. It's $400, totally self-contained. You don't need anything else. No cables, no computer. It's all in the headset, and you can play games like this, take it anywhere, and set up literally in 10 seconds. And so that's a great way for people to get into VR and just play really fun games.
Okay, so that's a goal for mine, a Christmas goal, getting the Oculus.
And we're hoping to have early access out for Christmas, so that'd be perfect.
All right, that's good to know.
We're pulling for it.
Okay, I'm pulling for you guys. Anyway, you guys, if you are in New York, well, if you're anywhere, by the time this gets on, you probably won't. But you guys need to check them out. This is a really authentic, I would say refreshing type of gameplay, and I really recommend it 100%. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll see you soon.
Take care.